Bonjour mes amis, hi guys. I wanted to update you on my experience of wearing and owning this 140th anniversary Seiko Presage automatic GMT. So this one has an amazing bezel, deep blue. You have the leaf motifs there at the center, the hemp leaf motifs on the dial. You have concentric circles on the date window, which is arguably the hardest date window to read I've had. An aperture would have been much easier, but at least you do have the date. Here in close-up it's easy to read, but at a distance it can get tricky, especially when the hour and minute hands just are at the bottom of the dial. Anyway, my favorite feature might be just the power reserve. It's so much fun to wind it halfway and discover a bit the efficiency of the automatic winding of this watch as you go about your day, whether you're very active or not active. See how much is left in the morning, take a walk to the office, see how it powers back up. I think it's a lot of fun, and I wish I had a very discreet power reserve like this one on every watch. And I have to say that Grand Seiko has put the power reserve now at the back of some of their models. And for example, the Snowflake, it never really bothered me, but it's not very elegant the way it's presented. And the one here on the Presage is a lot more elegant actually. Also, what I love, if we're going into the details first about this watch, is the GMT hand, how easily legible no matter where the other hands are. I think it really stands out, and the color coding to the bezel is excellent. Now overall, it's one of the watches, and to explain a bit my way of thinking here, I brought two other similar kind of watches. It's one of those watches that when I wear it, I see all those great details that I explained first. Also that very beautiful case, that angular sharp-edged, as it is called, Presage case, the way the bezel marries there with a little lip above the case. I think it is a very beautiful presentation. The angularity of the center links, I like it as well. Very easy to put on, put off. You know, sometimes something easy is just as good as anything else, but it is a bit on the cheaper side on the bracelet, and certainly on the clasp here compared to what you get there. But I guess to keep the price point low, they had to make that concession, and it doesn't actually bother me at all. I think the bracelet is comfortable and looks good enough. But it's one of those watches that when I wear it, I see all those great details that I really like, and that make me want to keep the watch long term. If nothing else, to have, if I'm not going to buy a Grand Seiko GMT, well, to have a great GMT from Seiko at a great price that has a lot of that DNA that is carried out through the Grand Seiko brand. I think all the details here are really wonderful. They've even signed the crown as well, which you don't get in many Seikos anymore. I think it is a really beautiful watch. However, as I wear it, sometimes I feel, yeah, maybe there's better things in my collection. And of course, it's going to depend on your collection and on your budget. If in your collection you already have some Rolex and a Patek and things like that, maybe you're gonna, in the end, prefer wearing those, and I think it's totally legitimate. Doesn't mean you can't appreciate all the details of the Seiko here, but you can either keep it as in the collection and wear it from time to time. It's a great piece to collect, I think, an anniversary piece with a very great complication. Or you might just decide it's too many things to keep. I don't want, and also I don't want to take care of the upkeep, you know, the service of all of those pieces that I'm buying just because they're great. Because at some point it becomes a lot in the watch box, and maybe decide not to keep it just because, yeah, in your collection on a daily basis you'll be wearing more something something like this, which obviously gives you a lot of kudos in the watch wearing community, or maybe you want to wear your Milgauss. You know, you can get addicted to luxury if you can afford it. This one might screams more modern than high-end luxury. However, as you wear it, all those details they do look luxurious. It is a very beautiful watch, but it is very a Seiko dressy sport kind of look, which sometimes I like, sometimes I don't. The thing is, I never get tired of wearing, say, my Datejust, or certainly not my Explorer, for example. I can wear that all day, all night, all year long. While the Seiko here, I might sometimes get a bit tired, and as I look at it, there are some elements that might bother me. The bracelet is not up to par with the watch itself. The watch is a bit on the heavy side, a bit big. I haven't even weighted it for you. Let me just do that now. 161 grams, and not much of that is the bracelet, I can tell you that much. So the head of the watch, it's quite heavy, but I've worn it for 2-3 full days, day and night. Really not at all an issue on the weight, the balance. But sometimes I look at it and all I see is the details, but the overall feel sometimes doesn't appeal to me as much as the very expensive watches I've just shown you. So it's one of those watches, if the best you can buy is this watch, I think it's a fantastic watch. And it's the same feel I have with the Maurice Lacroix and the Tudor. Obviously, they are more the very expensive, high luxury alternatives. You might hear the rain, by the way. It started pouring rain here in Hong Kong. Obviously, they're an alternative to the very expensive. The Maurice Lacroix is an alternative to the Royal Oak, which is 50 times more expensive, and the Tudor is the alternative to the 3, 4, 5 times, more expensive GMT from Rolex. And beautiful watch. I think it has actually better colors than the Rolex. A lot of details that I love. It's very accurate. It's working well. But sometimes, just like the Grand Seiko, it's top heavy. It's a bit big. This one has a great bracelet. No problem there. But it's that same feeling that it's not. If I had to have just one watch, it could not be it. However, if it's the best you can buy, and if you love the Tudor Black Bay, then the Black Bay with the addition of a GMT function is just a dream come true. And look at it on my wrist; it's just a beautiful, beautiful watch. So it's the type of watches that I'm on the fence. Sometimes I feel, okay, I need to reduce my collection, and if I sell this and that, I can afford one more luxury watch. And then I can't pull the trigger because I put it on and I'm like, oh, it's so beautiful, so special. I think if I find it special and beautiful and well manufactured now, someone in 20, 30 years will think the same, and it will probably, it could gain a lot of value if Tudor abandons this model. If they make it better, like everybody says, if they make it in a 39mm format and manage to make it slimmer somehow, maybe make it, I don't know, manual wind. Yeah, then it's gonna be heavy competition for this. And then we have the Maurice Lacroix here. That one I feel is just perfect on the wrist. I never find it too heavy. I think it's very, very comfortable. Never have that issue. The only issue you can have is that this beautiful watch, well, it is not the top dog, it's not the Nautilus, it's not the Royal Oak, but what you get for your money, again, if the best you can afford is something around $1,200-$1,500, man, pick one of those up, and it has 200 or 300 meters of water resistance. It's ridiculous, and it's so much better actually than the 200 meters of water resistance, which is much better than actually the Royal Oak. It has the perlage there in the clasp. just a wonderful piece, but it is what it is. It is not what it is not. So there you go. These are my impressions. Right now, you know, I'm moving houses, a lot of spending. Money's gonna be a bit tight. Do I need to have, you know, even though it's very expensive, but do I need to have 1200 US locked into this watch, another 3000 into this one? There's no resale for the Maurice Lacroix. That's a definite keeper, and I always enjoy wearing it. And I never really ask myself the question whether it's too big or anything, but I do myself ask the question about the Tudor and the Seiko. But yeah, do I need to keep, you know, here you have like 4000 US locked in. If it's not the top for you, yeah, it's up to you to decide. But again, they're at this level of watchmaking where you get a great piece, and if you decide to buy it, I think you'll be really happy with your purchase. Thank you for watching, guys. Any question about this Seiko, let me know in the comments. And yes, nighttime is a white night and daytime is blue. Why not? Why not? You could question why they didn't do the opposite, but I think it looks very cool like this. It's indeed a very sharp watch. Bye bye, guys.